Now on BBC One, the lunchtime news with Joanna Gosling.
Good afternoon. The Health Secretary, Sajid Javid, has urged us all to be cautious in the run-up to Christmas and says he cannot rule out further restrictions as the government continues to battle the fast-spreading Omicron variant. Mr Javid said 7 people have now died after contracting Omicron, and it's already the dominant strain in England as well as in Scotland. Sancha Berg reports.
To the sound of Christmas songs, people queued this morning for jabs outside a chilly Wembley Stadium. Omicron accounts for an estimated 80% of cases in London now. People are trying to protect themselves and their family Christmas plans.
I would prefer to have it done before Christmas. I've got an elderly grandfather who's 90 years old, so I want to be able to see him and get this over and done with.
As soon as I heard that they have an event here wherein they are giving the boosters out, so I decided to book one immediately for myself, and yeah, it feels really good.
But the virus is spreading so rapidly, the Health Secretary didn't rule out new restrictions even for next week.
There are no guarantees in this pandemic. I don't think at this point we just have to keep everything under review.
He urged people across the country to be cautious in the days ahead.
If I'm going to see my mum, for example, who's elderly, like most very old people, she's more vulnerable than younger people, I will take a test, and I might, just have not the usual amount of hugs I get from my mum. You just take a bit of caution, and I think that's a sensible response. But the most important thing that anyone can do right now is to get boosted.
Earlier this week in central London, people were still out and about, but venues are generally quieter now as the variant spreads, and scientists warn they cannot say how severe it will be.
Frankly, the evidence is not there that it is either less severe or more severe than the Delta variant. We just don't know. But what we do know is that the cases are rising very fast.
So far, there are 85 patients in English hospitals with Omicron and 7 confirmed deaths. But the Health Secretary said they were typically infected over a fortnight ago, well before Omicron became the dominant strain. Sancha Berg, BBC News.
Well, let's go to our medical editor, Fergus Walsh. Fergus, what are the options facing the government now?
Well, what's driving this is the very stark advice from the Scientific Advisory Group on Emergencies, SAGE, who said that unless action is taken beyond Plan B in England, there will almost certainly be unsustainable pressure